sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. So you sent in this link, right? An ebook. Okay, so it's called Rise Above, Triumphing Without a Father Figure, available over on PayHip.
You know, that title, I gotta say, it really caught my eye.
Yeah, pretty powerful, right?
It is. And it makes me wonder, like, what kind of advice are we talking about here? Practical life skills? Emotional resilience? I mean, there are so many ways to approach this topic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I'm really curious to hear what you discovered while digging into this ebook.
Well, you know, the first thing that struck me was just how much it lives up to that title. It really is all about empowerment. You know, specifically aimed at young people who are, well, navigating life without a father figure.
Right.
But it goes way beyond just, you know, coping. It's about overcoming adversity and truly thriving.
Okay, so it's not just about dealing with the absence, but like finding strength and building something from that, you know, experience. Exactly. And one of the things I found particularly insightful was the emphasis on building a resilient sense of self.
Okay, tell me more about that. How does the ebook approach that?
Well, it starts by acknowledging that, you know, growing up without a father figure can often lead to some pretty negative self-talk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. And it's not just about, oh, you know, think positive thoughts.
No.
It goes deeper than that. It dives into recognizing those negative thoughts and then consciously challenging them.
Interesting. So, like, how do you actually put that into practice? I mean, especially for a young person, that seems tough.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the ebook actually offers some pretty tangible exercises.
Okay, like what?
Well, one thing it suggests is keeping a journal to track those negative thoughts.
Oh, like a thought diary kind of thing.
Exactly. The idea is to write down those negative thoughts as they pop up and then try to consciously reframe them, you know, look for a more positive or at least a more neutral perspective.
So you're basically trying to shift your internal dialogue.
Right. The book even uses this great analogy of an inner critic versus an inner coach.
Oh, I like that.
The critic is always focused on what's missing, what's wrong, you know.
Right.
But the coach focuses on potential, on strengths, on possibilities.
I see.
And there's this one story in the book that really stuck with me. It's about this young man who, for years, kept telling himself he could never be successful. Because he didn't have a father figure, you know, a role model to follow. He felt like he was at a disadvantage.
Right.
But then he learned to counter those thoughts by looking around his community. He started focusing on other successful people who maybe didn't have traditional families, but still achieved great things. Yeah. And that really helped him to see that success could come from all sorts of places, you know, that it wasn't limited by his family structure.
Wow, that's a powerful shift in perspective.
It really is.
It also makes me think about the importance of, you know, having a support network, which I think, you know, ties into what we were talking about earlier with the ebook. It emphasizes that, right?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, there's a whole section dedicated to building a strong support network. And it really highlights how crucial this is, especially for young people without a father figure.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you don't have that traditional family structure to lean on, you need to create your own, right?
Exactly. And what I found really interesting here is that the ebook doesn't just say, hey, you need a support network. It actually provides a framework for building one.
Okay, how so?
Well, it encourages young people to really think about their needs. What kind of support are they missing? What are their goals? And who can help them achieve those goals? And then it encourages them to be proactive, to reach out to potential mentors, to join clubs or groups, to really actively cultivate those relationships.
So it's not just theory, it's actionable advice.
Yes, it gives you concrete steps you can take to build that network.
I like that. And, you know, if I remember correctly, this ebook isn't just aimed at young people, right?
You got it. It explicitly states that anyone who works with or supports young people, like caregivers, mentors, teachers, you know, can benefit from reading this.
Right.
Because understanding the unique challenges and strengths of someone growing up without a father figure can help them provide more sensitive and effective guidance.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It really broadens the potential impact of this book. And you know, what I really appreciate is that it's such a positive message.
Definitely.
It doesn't dwell on the lack, but instead it focuses on equipping people to thrive. It's about, you know, taking control of your own narrative and building a fulfilling life, regardless of your circumstances.
Well said.
So, you know, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with something to think about. If you could give one piece of advice to someone growing up without a father figure, what would it be? It's a tough question, I know, but it's worth considering. Thanks for joining us today.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what